fuel, air, screen. Tomorrow I'm going to do the oil. Yeah. And here I got my oil filter. Today is 1 o'clock. Today is April 28th, Monday. We just did some running around this morning, and so now I want to try and level this tractor up. So I have my ramps in the back. Give it the oil change, just regular oil, and then later I'll do the hydraulic. But at least I get the oil done today. But I want to kick up these back tires because I'm on a kind of a slope, and I really don't have a place. Anyway, I'll do this, and then I'll go get the rest of my equipment to my catch pan and all that stuff, and my wrench and my breaker bar and my socket and all that fun stuff. Alright, back in a minute. Oh, there's Grandpa's old chalk block for his tractor, his truck, and the farm, and everything else he needed. The engine oil filter, got the hydraulic filter and the other hydraulic filter. I'm going to do those guys after. So work. Catch pan. Alright, so up by the front axle there's the drain plug for the oil, and I'm going to crawl under there and take a picture and make sure I have a note saying it's an 8mm hex for the drain plug, which might be an Allen key. But anyway, I'm going to get under there and take a picture so I can see. I don't remember. It's been a couple of years. Alright, do this, put it on selfie mode so I can see. Hex, meaning Allen wrench. Okay, so let me get that. It's probably easier coming from the other side. Let's shut this off so we don't waste the film. Well, it's digital, so it doesn't matter. Okay. This guy has 16 quart capacity. Caps on. .9 liters, or 0.8 US gallons of engine oil. So it's not even a gallon of engine oil. Now the transmission oil is 3.3 gallons, which is 12.5 liters. This thing will hold 15 liters. So when I go to do that, it should be good enough to capture. It did last time. Front axle oil is half a gallon, or 2 liters in the front axle. I have to put that in this time. Grease, proper amount it says. So I have to grease all the grease fittings, and that'll happen later. Engine coolant, I'll probably want to do that. That's 0.9 US gallons, or 3.3 liters. So, and the fuel is 25 liters, or 6.6 US gallons. So, alright, we're just doing the engine oil for the crankcase, 2.9 liters, or 0.8 US gallons. And yeah, so I have oil. Traveler, I guess I got that at Tractor Supply probably. 5 gallons, so it's a 1540. There's a whole bunch of numbers down here. CK-4, CJ-4. This one says API CF-4. CF-4, there it is. And CI-4. CI-4, right there. Cool. So we are good. That's the cool beans. Okay, so I have my filter, I have my wrench, I have my drip pan, I have my oil. I got to clean off this thing first before I start pouring oil out. That's got a dirty top, so I'll be cleaning this off first. So, and then make sure I don't get any contamination in there. Yeah, so clean as you go, and then of course if I have any spills, I have these catch pans and I have kitty litter to absorb that. La-di-da. And these paper towels are great. Idiot. So there we go. All right. So you can hear in the orchard next door, they're doing maintenance, so they trimmed a bunch of prunings before the apples happen, and now they're putting it through a chopper, so they're grinding it up into wood chips, and then here in about a month the apples will be a good size and they're going to start propping the limbs, and we'll be doing that also. I already pruned most of the things that I'm going to prune, so all I have to do is prop now, but they're in the middle of it, and they have people they pay. I don't have anybody I pay, I do it myself. It takes a damn long time. Okay. Let me pause this machine, let me clean my lid, let me get the rest of my mise en place. My equipment, my things. See, I work in a kitchen, so kitchen terminology. Kind of like when I talk to the students at the Coast Guard station, in cooking school. We talk about cleaning tubes and pipes on cooking equipment. It's like, okay, just like you're cleaning the bore with a bore brush. Alright, that part's good. 13 years in the Army, 16 years teaching for the Coast Guard. A lifetime working in food service restaurants. Yeah. Right. Wait here. Hold that down, hold that down. This is going to go on here. This thing twists here and here and it'll shut off the flow. And you have a little stopper down the bottom to double check yourself. Off. Alright, so that's off. And it's got a little capper lid when you need that too. So this will go here when the time comes. Or I could go down here too. There's two fill places for the oil. There's one on the side and one on the top. Last time I used the top one, and I'll probably use the top one again. But okay, there's that. Now time to clean this. I'm not going to... Well, I'm glad I kept this chair. This was Pa George's chair, and I never thought I'd be doing, work like this. I didn't think about it. I knew I was going to be doing tractor work, but I didn't think... Anyway, this is a comfortable little chair that I was going to get rid of, so I'm glad I kept it. And then this is working out okay. These cans have been sitting in my little barn over there which is more of it's a loafing shed, so it's open on one side. So a lot of dirt flies around because we're in the orchard. So when we disc the orchard or plow the orchard, all the dirt goes up, and so between us, all the stuff. Anyway, so when I use Grandpa's chalk block, when I use George's seat, when I use Uncle Joe's bell over there, or Mom's, stuff in the house, it's cool. And then on the other side, my dad's stuff, all the paintings and everything that I'm working on, and I actually put together a YouTube channel for Dad's art, and I've been doing that a lot lately. So I get to revisit my family members, even though we're not, some of them aren't around anymore, and some of them I don't get a chance to see as often as maybe I should. All right, let's see. This opens. And here we go. Just like on some of the other things. You gotta twist and pull, and then this piece is gonna unscrew. So first, you gotta grab the V-handles, the loops, and make sure that this is tight on the screws. And push it down at the end, and then when you're ready to use it again, you tighten it, make sure it's tight, grab the D, and then lift up, and it creates a spout. Then, make sure that that's clean. Untwist the threads, and now you have your oil. Yeah. Cool beans. All right, I'm not ready for this yet. I'm just trying to get everything set up before I crack open the tractor itself, because if I don't have everything, all my mise en place, all my stuff, and I crack open the tractor, then I have to go to the store and go get more stuff, and I just need to make sure. So right now I'm about here on the oil. Again, it was only going to take engine oil 2.9 liters or 0.8 US gallons, so 8/10 of a gallon, so 80% of a gallon. That's what's going to happen here. And each time I fill this guy, this is a quart, right? 4 quarts to a gallon. If I want 80, so here I have ounces, I have liters. So it's 1 liter all the way to the top, and 1 quart is a little minus on the top. So if I go by it's easier, when it's written in liters, it's easier just to go with liters. So I want 2.9 liters. And here's a 9. It has 1 milliliter, 100 milliliter, 200 milliliter, 300 milliliter, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900 milliliter. So that's at 0.9, and then the liter. So if I do 2 full ones and then 900, that's the 0.9. So it's almost 3, right? If I were to do the quarts, 4 quarts to a gallon, so I would do 80% of that. How are we really going to know? We're going to check the dipstick. Going to try not to be a dipstick. Okay. But we'll go with 2.9, and then we'll check the dipstick. Cool beans. All right. So if I try and lift this into here, I don't have anything to hold this on. So I got to figure out how to hold that on. Okay. So maybe I'll something like that. No, that won't work. Won't work. What I did last time Yeah, this is 2 liters here. That's 1 liter. So last time, because this is such a wide mouth, and this is such a small mouth here comparatively, and this won't stand on the ground, this I can pour. Okay, so I'm cleaning 2 things. I don't care, I just don't want to make a mess. I'm not going to try and pour this directly into that. So I'm going to pour and make it comfortable, make it clean and easy. So this guy, I'm going to go 2 liters, and then I'll go 0.9 liters, and I'll pour it in here and verify myself, and then put it in there, check the dipstick, run it for a little bit because it has to move throughout the system, let it cool down a little bit, check it again. Yeah, that's the plan. All right, let's get this. Cool. All right. So we have our bits and pieces for that. For this. That can stay there. That. Now I need that Allen wrench, which I have. I have a breaker bar last time when I did the doggone drill off the back of the tractor. Post hole digger, post hole drill. In order to put oil into that, I needed an Allen wrench, and I have a long piece of steel pipe that I use as a breaker bar. It's probably the same size as this. I think it is. And I think I used it for both animals, the post hole and the tractor last time. So now let me go look for that out in the barn. So I found it. I don't know if I can see myself in this stupid thing. Okay, I found it. So it's just a piece of pipe, but I taped on this Allen wrench to it. And that way I know that I can get in here from a distance, and I can break the bolt here and on the post hole driver. Okay. So I'm just going to slide this over here. Pads to lay down on because this rock is no fun. So, drop the oil into that. Vent this guy. This guy is, it's dirty. It's about 3/4 of the way up. But it's oil. It's okay. There's no bubbles in it or anything like that, thank goodness. All right. So, I'm going to get under there from the other side, crack it. Let it drain out a little bit, slowly. I have time, so it's not like I have to do anything. Once that's drained, then I can come over here and do this filter. Change the filter. Put the filter back on. I have to scratch the new numbers in here. Yeah. How about that? Okay. Let's see if I change this over here. I don't know if you're going to see it or not. Yeah, okay, that might be good enough. Just want to make sure, just want to verify, and I know I'm right. Just want to verify righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. But some of these things are opposite. So I'm just going to verify it. Alright, so if it said it was reverse thread, it would have said so. so it's not saying that. So I think we're good. So, all right, good, did it. So the drain plug is still in there, so the thing is draining slowly. Whenever I can't make or find a garbage can, I make one. Cool beans. Okay, I'm going to pull the dipstick, and then more air is going to get in there, and so this might drain a little bit faster, even though the plug is still in there. Together here. I'm going to open up. So I did that, and it didn't change much. So I'll do the crankcase top. First, I cleaned it yesterday. I'm just going to wipe around so nothing falls in. Open the oil fill. Go. Still not a lot. That's okay. Okay, I'll go ahead and loosen it up some more. Line on. It's flowing very nicely, very viscosely. So this guy is it's an Allen wrench. It fits into this guy. Let's see, I don't know if I can see it. There we go. So it's a big fat guy, about, let's see, I don't know, ½ inch-ish, something. I called it a number 8, whatever that is. Oh, maybe if I looked at this, I would know. Alright, doesn't matter, probably a 3/8. Dripping ever so slightly. Okay. So I just wiped. This is a little bit of damp cloth. So I did the oil first with the paper towel, then I did the damp cloth. Why not? Let's do that first. The other side. The oil filter. Oil filter, not bad. Let's come over here, take a look at it. I broke it loose, and it wasn't very bad at all. So that's all right. And I have the drip pan still underneath, and I have a 40356, 40356, 015. So same one. Okay, here we go. Yeah, not too bad. All right, that's gonna go there. Any oil that's dripping on here. Moment. old one, the ring came out, so I'm not going to double it. Pretty sure that's enough. Cool beans. All right, we're going to do the drain plug back in. Get it tight. And then this is for the hydraulic. This is a number 30. All right, let's put these over where they're supposed to go. So yesterday I used the white paper towel. See about drips on the fuel line, and today I'm going to use the white paper towel to lay it under there, and I'll fill the case, see if it holds. I will crank it up, see if it holds. I don't want to over crank it, and I don't have, well, I do have a, what's it called? It says how many pounds. Torque wrench, that's it. Alright, let's just, I think it's nice and tight. Okay. What did Tony's Tractor Adventure say? He says, it's just like that German measurement, it's good and tight. So Tony's Tractor Adventure, he did the LS 125 and he did the service on it, and that, thank goodness, thank you so much, it was a big help. Recently I found another young man who did the, and I can't think of his name and I apologize for that, who did the fuel filter, and that was huge time help for me. And I should have zoomed in with mine, so I'll show pictures of what I was doing, but if I can find his, I'll link it also below. But I figure I'll do an LS Tractor maintenance video and fuse it all together for those of us who are brand new to tractors and need some help. I took a tractor safety course with the junior college here in Santa Rosa a couple years ago. And thank God I did, because I'm on a slope down and a slope up, and it made me realize as I move on this property that a little gopher hole can really screw you up, right? The tires, the weight in the bucket, the weight on the backside. So the information that I learned from this tractor course at the junior college was huge. And I think what I'm going to do is the information that they passed out at the junior college, I'm going to put it into a package for us who don't know what the hell they're doing, and they got a piece of land, now they got a tractor, now got to do something with it. But if you tie, well, there's a whole bunch of safety stuff, but these things roll over and kill people often. Matter of fact, there was a the back acre over here, my grandparents told me, you know, as I was growing up, if you're on a tractor, be careful. And then my mom later, she's like, okay, there was a French guy over here who was on his vineyard property, and his tractor rolled and they killed him. And then you just watch the YouTube and you listen to, you know, the various tractor folks, and they'll tell you they're dangerous. So be aware, be safe, be diligent, you know, don't be stupid. Yeah, so I do food safety, for the food safety, you know, culinary world. And so my mind is kind of on safety of things. So I'll probably put together something and put it up if anybody wants it. For a lot of new people like me, you know, I'm at 185 hours on this now. When I first got it, boy, I was so nervous, right? I got it, the guy pulled it off, he parked it over here, and he left, and I'm like, so I took the tractor car. I had this, I moved some gravel, I put together that shed over there, and the gravel, but everything was so choppy and so, anyway, I'm happy where I am now. This thing, 185 hours, has been tremendous. I just have to make sure to maintain it. I was in the Army for 13 years. I had Bradley fighting vehicles. I had 901 tow vehicle. I had 113s. I had Humvees. So I got to do basic maintenance on those things. I do basic maintenance on my vehicles, but I'm not the mechanic guy. I don't do it, you know, all the time. So I'm not afraid of it. It's just I don't normally do it. So it takes me a little bit longer. My brain has to lock in, has to really think about what I'm doing on these things before I get into it. Now I did the oil service 130 hours ago. So I'm doing it again now. So, you know, you practice you practice makes better, right? You get better as you go. And in the old days, I would do my own oil on the car. Now I take it through a drive-through. But there is no drive-through for this that I'm willing to pay for. There's a couple of tractor companies around here that say, sure, you know, we'll do it for you, but it'll cost you. I said, okay. And then the people that I bought this from are way up in Northern California, 4 hours away from me at, there we go, Lane Tractor Sales. Lane Tractor Sales up on, way up in north, up by Redding, kind of. And 4 hours, and you know, the guy, one of the fellas brought it down to me on his trailer when we bought it, and it was great. I wanted the blue tractor. I wanted a little tractor. The price was right. It was, I had the backhoe, I got a box blade, I had the front loader, I had the unit, and there was something else. Anyway, it made sense, and the price was right. But I know I wanted the blue tractor. Other people are for green and red and orange and yellow. The yellow. Anyway, all kind of tractors. And something small. This is a 25, so I don't have to do the regenerating. And for what I do here, it's only 2 acres. My neighbor has 2 acres. I help over there. This guy has a couple acres. I help over here a little bit. You know, not much. But anyway, that's my story in a nutshell. Okay, let's get some oil in here. That's tight. That's tight. That's open. Now I'm going to do the fill process like I was talking about before. So let's bring the camera over here. You probably couldn't even see me, huh? Here I am talking. Yeah, barely. No. Fuck. All right. It doesn't matter. Okay. We're gonna do. We're gonna do oil. So we have this guy. That's clean. Goes there. Here. Alright, so I do the paper towel trick here to capture any dripping down there. Then I stand on a rickety board and this sloshes, so it doesn't matter. Okay. See there. Let's pick up that. So much fun. This whole space is going to turn into a patio, brick patio. I haven't gotten there. I've been working on the garden back here. I've been working on the, I'll call it a corn maze. So I did a whole bunch of space with stones around perimeter and gopher wire because we have a lot of gophers. And that's garbage. Anyway, we have that. All right. This guy. Let's go here. Open this. One. So now I'm going to twist this locked, and I'm just going to lay this over. And that's still in the feed tube, so that's good. Let's go over here and take a look. Cool, nothing is dipping and draining. So let me do my paper towel trick. See, garbage in the garbage. Garbage, 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 garbage. Okay. Now let's do it a second time, okay? All right, that was 0.9. So now I'm gonna go. I like the hat, but it's in the way, okay. Not even going to talk about that. Okay. So now we're going to go for another shot. And how do I know I'm done? It's going to be on the doggone dipstick. Alright, here we go again. And it's going to be on the crosshatch. It's not going to be all the way to the top of the crosshatch. It's going to be somewhere in the middle. Because there needs to be room for it to expand. Dad always tried to put it all the way up to the top of the crosshatch, and he would overfill his oil. And I know that that would mess things up in the engine, right? There's too much oil, and it overwhelm the engine. So you got to have it to where the crosshatch is that big. It needs to be somewhere in the middle. So, you know, about 3/4 of the way up or so. As it warms up, it should get bigger. And as it cools down, it'll you know, shorten up a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see. The crosshatch somewhere in there. And that's what that little book says, somewhere in the crosshatch. Okay. Plug plugs up the bottom. I'm going to hold this right here for the moment. I'll check my check it. Good. We're about halfway up the hash mark. I try to be as good as I can, and then I'm not. How about that? Okay. Still not bad. Okay. Cap. My red cap, there it is. Let me cap this off. Kinda. Okay. That goes in there. Alright, 185 hours, April 25. This one was 50 hours, August 2021. So, all right. Okay, let's see what happens. Tight, tight. Alright, the oil pressure came up. There was no light. There's no leaking so far. I'm going to let this sit for a minute. So because I ran it, the oil went to where it's supposed to go. So now instead of being higher up on the crosshatch, it's a little bit lower down, still in the crosshatch, so it's fine. But I'm going to add more oil in a few minutes once I run this again for a little bit. You know, it's funny, using this stuff, and it has all the specs on the side for what the book says. And when I pulled out the old oil, there was no bubbles in it. And now I pull out the new oil, I got bubbles in it. I have to look that up. So with the old oil, bubbles in it would be water, right? New oil, as I was filling it, I could see, you know, air bubbles inside the tube, so I'm assuming that these are just air bubbles that happen to be in here as I'm sloshing it back and forth. Yeah, I guess we'll find out. Cool. Okay, so this is done for today. Today it is 3:30. It's time for a beer. All right, oil's done. Fuel is done. Those are the two major components that I was worried about